So the game is the Marshals. The scenario is Soult, 1809. This is a Vivictus magazine war game. The Marshals is a series. I believe there are 5 volumes out now. The first 2 volumes were published in Vivictus French Wargaming magazine. So this is going to be a exploration again of the scenario here, Soult, 1809. I lost 2 introductory scenarios, or 2 introductory videos, so I'm not going to redo anything. so basically I'm getting started. I think it's a really great game. I really enjoyed playing 1808, the first scenario in this game. So I'm going to try to recapture some of that great gameplay with the next scenario here, Soult 1809. So detailed game sequence, step A, initiative. So the scenario rules tell me that the Anglo Allies go first in the game. I can't remember the wording, but I'm assuming that's what they mean by initiative. But I'm doing my, let's see, initiative. What is the outcome? So you win the initiative. Okay, you win the initiative, then what? Player, beginning with the player who won the initiative. Okay. So that's the outcome of initiative. It's set for the scenario. So it is the Anglo Allies. But what does that mean? That means that when we go on to the operation, well, I'm skipping the events here, but when we get to the operations, do they call it phase? Well, when we get to the operations step, I guess, of the turn, Anglo Allies will go first, but I don't want to jump over the events. So basically, players can start with events, and that is the case here. Here are the Anglo Allies. They start with 2 event chits. The French begin with no event chits, and then you also acquire them. The question I have is, do you acquire an event chit on the first turn, on the first game turn? So I'll figure I will start looking for that, but so event markers are attributed or allotted to players according to the scenario. Okay, so again, the Anglo Allies start with 2 in hand. There's the Duro. You see in my introductory scenarios I talked about all this. I talked about these event chits, I talked about the map, but the Duro, real quick, but not repeating myself, the Duro event chit refers to the river here, the river Duro here, it goes east-west. Anyways, we'll get to that when it affects anything. Then we have an event chit Argenton. This was a figure in the actual campaign. So bottom line is they're 2 event chits. They have the red striping on the side showing that they are Anglo-Allied event chits. Each side has their own mix. 1809 means that they're played in the 1809 scenario. So again, my question is only, I know the Anglo Allies start with those 2 event chits in hand, but do they acquire another one on the first game turn? So event markers are obtained in 2 ways. I already said that. You're allotted them, and then you also draw them during the events phase of each turn. So again, for that, the markers are played. Okay, you draw them randomly, obviously. Each player receives his own container, his own allotment of markers. Again, by the way, there are event markers that are marked with a star. Let me see if I can find one quickly. Yeah, that one is marked with a star. That means this one is played immediately. You don't hold on to that. Did that come in the... yeah, there we go. This one right here is played immediately. It's a starred one. You don't hold that in your hand. Well, okay. It doesn't say anything about not drawing them on the first turn. So I wonder if that's under the what do you call it, the scenario rules though. Events. Okay, I don't see that you don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blindly draw another event chit. I guess both players do this. Seems interesting. I don't know. Anyways, the Anglo allies draw this one. Well, I guess I should probably talk about it. So it's not immediately played because it's not starred. It's obviously a French word. But might as well look at. I'm just going to talk about what. What is it? The retreat of the French cavalry stack measures 2 zones instead of 1. Oh, okay. This French word, I'm not sure how to say, fuite, means escape. So that's there. That means escape. Okay. So put that in hand, and I guess I'll remember. I remember how I did this before. I'll remember to draw the French one when I do the first French operation, which is a little. No, never mind. That's how I did it last time, but as I recall. But I'm not going to do it that way. Okay. So we'll draw the French event shit. Elan. That one's easy. So right here, Elan. It's not starred, so it can be held in hand. It's Elan. This has 1808 and 1809. That just means that this event chit is part of the pool for both games, for both scenarios. That's all that means. All right. So now we can go to operations. So activate a stack through disengagement and or movement. If through movement, verify the command. Okay, so basically we are going to move. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, actually looking at the situation here, this is Hill's division. So that's Hill's division there. I'm going to turn these over as I go because I'm going to play them that way. I set them up this way because I wanted to see the setup, but this is not how it's played. All right, so I want to move Hill. I want Hill to march to Ovar, the city there. So that is movement, and I have to verify command. That I am pretty sure of. So let's see how. This is the movement value. The 8 on there is the movement value. Let's see. Okay, so I think I take the PM marker, movement point marker. I think I can start on 8. There's a little track here as you count down movement points expended. A command test. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing a command test. I'm going to roll a die, and then I'm going to... Ooh, 1 is low good or is high good? Eee. A command test proceeds as follows. Roll the die, add the SV, that's strategic value, to the subordinate commander if there is one. There is no... I think this is Hill on his own. So add 1 if the stack contains only cavalry. Hill is infantry. Right there. Add 1 if it is possible to go from the commander-in-chief. That's Wellesley right here. Possible to go from the commander-in-chief to the stack by crossing connections that are passable and are free of enemy units. Obviously, it goes right here by just 2 areas. So we are adding 1. So like that 2 or I'll do it this way. Adding 1, and then, oh, that's it. And I'm going to double check the play aid, command test, add 1, it's coming in, positive, yep, okay, that's good. So if a total is 5 or more, you get all your MP. If it's 3 or 4, you get half your MP. And in 1 or 2, the stack is activated. So what happens is there's a total of 2 right there, but 1 or 2 means that basically you're not moving and you're activated. So it's basically he didn't get going. So I'm going to turn him over to his flag side, how he's supposed to be, and I'm going to invert him because now he's activated. I do believe, and as I believe, and as I recall, that is how all that works. So the question is, what now? Come off, and then I guess I think it's going to go to a French operation. Right, so now we're looking from the French side of the board, and I think I was looking different options here. We have a couple of cavalry units back here in Braga City. Not sure of any need to race them up to the front necessarily right now. Loison is here. Subordinate commander is kind of in the middle of, well, that is a town there actually, Almirante, but he's concerned about so there's Wellesley there. Actually you wouldn't know this when you flip them over and you play with full fog of war, I guess, but there is another commander, Beresford, over here, just off the screen there. So Loison wants to wait and see what they're going to do. Soult is here in Oporto. So I was thinking, so here's the cavalry, and here's infantry and cavalry. I wonder if, right, I wonder if this infantry can get down 1, 2, 3 to Ovar and occupy it before the Anglo Allies do. Now, there will be the concern of it being outflanked to the east there. But let's go ahead and there's also here 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's do that. We're going to try to activate the French infantry here. Again, there's no cavalry present. It has a movement allowance of 9. Actually, it's pretty much the same procedure as the British had. So we roll. There we go. We get a 5 plus 1 because he can trace line of communications to the commander-in-chief Soult there. So that's easy. So he has this full movement allowance. So now he goes down the highway here, 1, 2, on the road, 3, 4. Matter of fact, I would keep that tracked on the point track over there, leaving them at 4. Now, at this point, do they get any fatigue? So it's combat. Yeah, just don't know about fatigue. do they draw any... After crossing a connection, the player must draw a rant after crossing a connection. Oh. Oh, okay. This is a unique and important part of the game. Let me try to start over. I'm going to put the movement point marker back up here on 9. We'll do this in order. So he is going to cross that highway connection. So that's 1. So put it down to 8. Now, oh, fatigue markers. Okay. All right. Yep. Now I'm remembering. There's the fatigue pool. So, should have had this already. I forgot about it. Guess at some point I need to double check, make sure that my pool is correct again, since this is a fixed pool for the game. Guess that's everyone. Now, go ahead and mix them up. Whoops, mix them up and draw. All right. Ooh, fatigue 2. Okay, so fatigue modifiers. +1 marker for each connection for a stack of more than 10 strength steps. So does that mean when he moved into here, there's already a cavalry unit there, chasseurs. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus. No, I think chasseurs are just 1, so it's 7. So it's not overstacked. +2 for more than 20 strength steps, etc. No. +1 marker for each. Okay, has combated marker. No. Enters the zone occupied by enemy stack. No. And +1 marker for each connection if the stack does not have a clear route. Line of communications. Okay. Okay, so they've definitely taken 2 fatigue. So now what? Fatigue markers during losses during movement. Refers to fatigue. Okay, movement normally. Fatigue. Okay, so what happens with? So they've taken 2 fatigue. I'm trying to remember. I think fatigue losses might be compared to current morale. That's what I'm trying to remember. Tally the fatigue points accumulated. They're not returned each to the. Okay, so they go again. They go another connection, which I'll put down the movement point down there. Draw another one randomly. Okay, 1. So now they've taken 3, and then they're going to go 3, 4, 3, 4, and they draw another fatigue. There we go. Okay. So they moved 3 connections. They accumulated 2, 3, 4 fatigue points. If the accumulated fatigue, exceeds the morale, let's see if it's on here. No, that's not on there. I went right by it. If it's ringing a bell, more than 1 unit in the stack, those units must stop their movement, and the infantry units must also lose 1 strength step. Okay, so question, of course, is what is, all right, take a closer look at the French infantry division there. Again, the 9 is just the movement points, that's all. The name is Mermet. Yeah. Well, you see it there. It's the name. He has his roster here, Right here, he is full strength, so his morale is in the little box here. There's a tiny 4 there. So his current morale is 4, so he did not exceed. He took 4 fatigue points, but did not exceed his current morale. So I think that he's just good. So he's done moving, so these go back to the pool, like that. Okay, and then he's done. So I'm going to flip them over like they're all supposed to be, and they will be. Invert him because he's activated this turn.